Welcome to the Inner Circle coaching calls. Hope you guys are well. We've got a lot of people here watching me right now live on Zoom. And I'm adding some of this stream to Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, what's up? How you doing? So do me a favor right now and type in the chats, because I have a window open here where I can see your chats in Facebook and YouTube. And I also have my people in Zoom over here where I can see you guys. All right. Now, my purpose of this call, it's a coaching call I do once a month. I call it Joe's Inner Circle. And I really want to evaluate some deals. I want to look at some vacant land deals and or house deals. And I want to just show you what I do, how I come up with offers. I'm sorry about the bad lighting right now. It's a beautiful day outside, so I have my window and door open right there, and all this light's coming in, and then my camera settings, I don't know how to change the brightness on it, so it's really jacked up. But I got a pretty plant over here to kind of add some contrast or whatever. So somebody just, this was Alan, submitted a house deal in here. We'll look at that in a minute. If you are watching right now in Facebook, YouTube, say hello. I want to make sure this is working. I'm using a new platform. So say hello in the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat. I want to see you. And I'm just looking right now on my YouTube channel to make sure it's going through. And yes, I am live. All right. There's 6 of you watching right now on YouTube. So say hello. Tell me that you are here and go to the chat and say hi. All right. I'm going to look right now on Facebook as well. I want to make sure you guys are. Facebook is having me log in. Oh, man, it wants me to put in a code. Let me look on my phone instead. Oh, there we go. Hey, Ralph, Shayna, Sister Buys Houses, Mally. What's going on? Good to see you guys. I'm just going to look real quick here in my personal Facebook. Yeah, my lighting is so jacked up. My apologies. My apologies. All right. I'll fix that next time. So I've got so far one person. Oh, Molly from Spain. Nice. Welcome. All right. I got one person that put in a deal here they want to look at. So while I'm going through this first deal, I want you guys to type in the chat or the comments. A house, if it's a vacant lot, give me the county and the parcel ID or the APN number. And I'm going to pull it up on my screen and let's look at it. I'll share my screen here with you in a minute. Okay, Scott, interesting. Scott's test saying here, I just got an offer accepted on a buildable vacant lot, not a normal recreational lot. Turned out to be on the outskirts of town on a paved road and that has utilities, water, sewer, and electric. Cool. Scott, so I'm just curious, what did you get it accepted? What was the offer price and what do you plan on doing with it? Oh, yes. And by the way, today at 2 p.m. Eastern, so in about 3 hours from now, I'm doing a 4-hour class on land. So I'm doing, it's called the Land Summit. If you're watching this right now, go to thelandsummit.com. It's completely free. I'm doing a 4-hour class where I'm going to be diving deep into all the steps, all the details for doing vacant land deals. And I've got a bunch of cool things I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to be giving you my mind map, the letter I send to sellers. I'm going to show you the contract that I give to sellers, how I make my offers, how I pick the counties, how I sell my deals, how I make the offers, how I sell the deals, all of the steps. It's going to be amazing. Even if you already are a student of mine, you should come to this summit and watch it. I'm going to just going back to the basics and showing you everything that I'm doing. It's going to be really, really good. Even if you are a student, you should go there, right? And even if you're watching this later as a replay or later on Facebook, YouTube, go to thelandsummit.com, thelandsummit.com. And if those of you watching right now on YouTube or Facebook, would you please type that in the chat or the comments down below so it goes there, people can see it and click the link. I really appreciate it. Thelandsummit.com. And that will, it will be recorded, Ralph, but the replay will only be up for like a week. So it's not like a long-term replay. Okay. I wish there was a way I could show your chat and our comments on here, but I can't. All right, let's look at this one deal. This is a deal that just came in. I'm going to open up Redfin and I'll share my screen here. This is a deal that came from Alan. And it's in Winter Haven, Florida. I'm going to open it up here and then share my screen. Hopefully I got the address right and see if it comes up. No, it's not showing up here on Redfin. So let me look it up in Google Maps. 515 South Lake Florence Drive. Okay, I found it. This is something that I think you guys might find interesting. Let me share with you on my screen what it is that I'm doing here. So the person who gave this to me, where did you guys? Hold on. I got 500 screens here. All right, we're good. The person who sent this to me just kind of typed in an address that didn't come up in Redfin. I went to Redfin, I typed this address in, and it kind of brought the house in, but is this it here? No, this is a different house. So sometimes what I do is I will go to Google Maps and put the address in there, and then it fixes it. It fixes the address. So then you can take this, copy it, put it in sites like Zillow. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you get a weird address that's not working, put it in Google Maps and it will fix it for you. And then you can go into Zillow or Redfin and look it up. All right, so this particular house here, let's go back to Redfin. And see how I fixed the address right there? Now I can click onto here and it brings me to the property. You understand what I'm saying? If you just copy and paste an address, if it's not exactly perfectly right, Redfin won't bring it up. So I go to map. I just go to Google, actually. I just went to the Google and I pasted that address in. This is what I have, 515 South Lake Florence Drive, Winter Haven, Florida. And I hit enter. And it brings up a bunch of stuff. It brings me a Zillow link. It brings me a realtor.com link, but it brings me up a map right here. And so normally what I do is I click on the map. And then right here, it's corrected the address, gives me the zip code and everything. And then I just copy the address, right? So since we're here in Google Maps, let's look at this property. So Alan made a cash offer. They made a cash offer for $265,000. The seller said no, because they purchased it at the top of the market. They have to move, though, because of employment, because of a job, and they are interested in creative offers. All right, nice. So we're going to make a cash offer. Let's make an owner financing and a lease option offer. Okay, and you can kind of make those subject to offers as well. Let's just take a look and see where this deal is. So it's near Lakeland, Florida, right in the middle of the state. By the way, just yesterday, I was down here in Sarasota. I don't know where Sarasota is. Oh, it's right there. Okay. A lot of lakes. One of the things I like to do, this is a nicer area, nicer homes. I like to always go in to see what does the area look like on the satellite view. Is this in an industrial park? Is there a mobile home park right next to it? Are there a bunch of abandoned vacant homes? What does it look like? And this looks like a really nice area. There's pools in the yards next to this little lake. Which, by the way, if you live in Florida, I don't know, I would not want to live next to a lake. There's alligators. So like there's boat docks. Do people go swimming? What's wrong with you people? I don't know. Like maybe alligators aren't a big deal. If you're nice to them, they'll be nice to you or something. That freaks me out. There's got to be at least one alligator in this lake. Am I right? And you won't know until it's too late. All right, anyway, here's the street view. Nice neighborhood. Yeah, so here's the thing. With neighborhoods like this, even with the slowdown, there is a lot of activity from investors for rehabbing these houses, even still today. This is a good median priced middle income neighborhood, I'm guessing. Investors who buy properties here are buying them to fix and flip, not to buy and hold. Because houses, I'm guessing, are going to be too expensive here for buy and hold cash flow. Make sense? All right, so let's look at this property here on Zillow. It's a 4-bedroom, 3 baths, 2,871 square feet. They bought it in 21. I guess you could say that was pretty much the height of the market. They bought it for $450,000. Zillow says it's worth about $441,000. One of the things I like about Redfin, if I jump here to Redfin, sometimes they show you more detailed information than Zillow does. Sometimes it's the other way around. But look at this. This is interesting. Zillow only gives us one picture. Redfin gives us all 29 photos. So these are photos from when it last sold in a year and a half ago, about, right? September 21. This doesn't need any work. Even if these pictures are 2 years old, it's probably still in really good shape. And the person that is selling this house is getting is probably pretty motivated. What this person told me was there's some kind of job opportunity. They either lost their job or they got a new job and they have to move. And so they're interested in creative offers. So the chances of you getting this as a cash offer are not very good. Let me show you if you were going to make a cash offer, what it would be. I mean, this is a beautiful house. Would you agree? Would you agree? All right. Last sold for $450,000 in September of 21. What's it worth today? I don't know. Open Doors are willing to offer $409. That's crazy. Open Doors still making offers. They're selling tons of homes, but now they're also buying homes. I just don't get it. All right. Scroll down here. One of the things I like about Redfin is this little graph they give you at the bottom. You can see here. Oh, look. This is interesting. It says sale history today. Price changed, but there's no price changed in September. They listed it for sale, but it's not listed for sale anymore. They listed it in August. I have to figure out what's going on here. They bought it in September, but it says price change. Let's look on realtor.com. What's the story with this property here? It's not actively listed for sale, is it? It's off market. Interesting, huh? All right, so let's look back at Redfin. What I wanted to show you was if you scroll down, it looks like they tried to list it and either they haven't sold it or they took it off the market, it expired. That's something when we're talking to the seller, we would find out, right? Keep on scrolling. Here we go. This is the real estate market insights for Florida, the city, the zip code, and the neighborhood. So you see in this neighborhood, the median list price is $280,000. This is one of the nicer homes in the neighborhood. The median days on market are 54. I'm telling you, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, that was like 15 or 20. All right, this is interesting. The median sale to list, what does that mean? That means the properties, when they're selling at about 93% of what they originally listed for. That's way, way down. It used to be 100%. Now you can scroll next, and this will give you the city. So you understand what I'm doing here? Right here, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, right here, this is really cool information you can get from Redfin that I don't see in Zillow. This is the neighborhood. whatever, however they figure that out. I don't know. There it is. You can see the stats from the neighborhood. You scroll next, you can see the stats on the city, garden or Cypress Gardens. Median list price, median days on market. It's way higher than it used to be. All right. Then we can go to look at this ratio of listed to solds. Now we're in the bigger city, Winter Haven. I don't understand that either. Now we're in the county, Polk County. Average, the median days on market, 72. Wow. All right. Now this is interesting. Look at the median sale price is $350. It's still up year over year, but it's a lot more than what they bought it for a year ago. It makes me nervous. Now this is the chart that I like to see. You can look at median sale price and what is it been doing for single family homes in this neighborhood. Eloise Woods. Been going kind of down, but if you look at 5 years, 1 year, I'd say kind of flat. This is what you're going to look at, like when you're figuring out, okay, what is this house going to be worth after I fix it up and rehab it and put it back on the market to flip? Before 6 months ago, a year ago, you could be a little more aggressive. So if it was worth $450 today, maybe you could sell it for $460, $470 in 3 months, 6 months. But now when you're looking at this, if it's worth $450 today, and we'll look at that in a second. Hold on one, I got to sneeze. Then you might, instead of selling it for $450 in 3 to 6 months when the rehab is done, you might want to sell it for $425. Just you want to price it aggressively to sell. You want to be the nicest, cheapest house on the market when you sell it. So that you have to be more conservative on your ARV and what it's going to be worth later on. All right. So this is interesting. And at some markets, you're starting to see the line come down. This one, it's going up a little bit, but it's not what it was doing, a while ago. This was April of 22. See, look at this big drop. All right. So anyway, I like looking at these numbers. You can look at number of homes sold, 5 years. It goes up and down from seasonal stuff. But you can see in the summer, May, June, July, it's down from previous summers. Quite a bit. Okay. Median days on market. It is kind of trending down. Okay. Now, what I like about Redfin here is we can look at comps very quickly and easily. And to do that, now look at this house here. I'm going to write this down so I don't. It helps me to write this kind of things down. All right. It's 4-bedroom, 3 baths, 2,871 square feet, 2-car garage. I'm going to click on the map. And then I'm going to click right here, map nearby homes for sale. And what this does is it opens up a new tab. And it shows me over here on the left, the map. Now that house is right there in the center of this map. And if I zoom out, you can see it goes from 2 homes to 48 homes. And that house, my house, is right in the center of the map. All right. So what I want to do is I want to switch to solds last 6 months. There's 88 homes, too many. I'm going to zoom in. Again, my house is right in the center. Now there's 8 homes. I want to look here. Let's filter it down a little bit. Houses only. I want 4 bedrooms. Do you think now that the market is shifting and going down, should I be more strict or less strict on my filtering? More. You're absolutely right. I just want to make sure you guys are still with me. Type in the chat. You can hear me and see me. And this is all good. Reginald gave us a deal. Good. We'll look at that here in a minute. Reginald, thank you. And you guys are still with me in Zoom chat. All good. All right, nice. All right, back here to Zoom. Back here to Redfin. Baths, 2+ bedrooms. Even though ours had 3, I'm just going to do 2. Click done. Now there's only one home. Interesting, right? I also like to do square feet. So ours was 2,800 square feet. Sometimes I don't like going too tight on that, but let's do minimum 2,500 square feet, maximum. Yeah, I can't do, I would rather do like 3,200 square feet. Let's just do minimum 2,500 square feet. Then also let's look at when was this house built? Built in 1968. Sometimes I also like going into my filters and year built. Let's just do 1960 to 1980. That removed one of my results. I'm okay with 1950. Let's just do 1950 maybe. Because this house might be a good comp and it just came in. All right, so you understand my filters now. Sold in the last 6 months, 4+ bedrooms, 2+ baths, houses only, sold last 6 months, minimum square feet of 2,500. I could do 3,000 square feet. That removed that comp though. I just wish it gave me a 3,200 or 3,500 square feet. So I'm going to remove the max. Okay. Cool. There's only one. So now what do I do? Let's zoom out. Now I have 2. All right, let's zoom out one more time. Now I have, this doesn't make any sense. What just happened? Now I have 361. No, I don't. 500. Now what's going on? Redfin. Now there's 1. Now there's 2. Now there's 9. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. These are 9 homes that have sold in the last 6 months. And I'm going to sort this table right here by priced from low to high. And what I'm looking for, these are all homes similar size. And let's look for homes that have sold recently that have been fixed up, that are nice. How do we know if they're nice? Just look at the pictures. This one looks nice. Let's look at this one. This sold November. This one looks decent. It's not a, this is a lived-in house. This needs updating, but okay. 370. This one's really nice. All right, so first thing I'm thinking of, we see 2 houses here. Let's write down now look at the price per square foot. This is these are, I want to look for good comps. So I've got 139 square foot. That I like that one. I'm gonna use this as a comp. I like the 140 price per square foot. And these are nice homes that have been fixed up recently and have sold in the last 6 months, right? Again, why are we doing this? We're looking to see what is our house going to be worth if we were to buy it and resell it. This one, no pictures. Let's just skip it. And it's 3. Why did the 3-bedroom get in there? I don't know. Here's one. Let's look at it. It's got a pool. Aerial photography right next to that lake, close to where we were. A lot of exterior photos. That makes me a little nervous. There's not many interior photos. All right, so this one needs a lot of work. That's not a good comp. Let's look at this one. It's a little bigger. Needs a lot of work. Sold for 420. This looks like it's on a large lot. 5 bedrooms. Yeah, so my favorite comps here are 360 and 370. 139, 140. So we're looking at about $140 per square foot. All right, so if I get my calculator, $140 a square foot times 1900. No, 2871. So if we're looking at the price per square foot at $140 a square foot, 401,940. So if I bought it and sold it today, fixed up, I would list it. It would be worth about 401,940. But I'm going to list it at about 95% of that. So I'm going to list mine for 381,843. That's what I'm saying the ARV for me. Because I'm going to fix it up. It's going to take me 3 months, 6 months to fix it up, get it relisted, and sell it. I'm going to list it for 381. I want to be aggressive with my pricing. I want to sell it quickly as possible. The next thing is I want to look at the actives. So what's my competition like for this, right? So let's look at for sale now instead. Now, sometimes now I'm going to kind of remove some of these filters because what if there's a newer home that's for sale that's less than mine? So I'm going to remove that. And here you go. Good example. This house is newer and they're listing it for $350, $349,900. And this was built, I don't know how many square feet it is. Let's look at the details of this thing. This one is bigger. It's newer. They're asking $349,900 for it. And it's been on the market 110 days. So I just said I would list mine for $381. That's not going to work. Not when this thing now needs updating. This is a newer home, nicer. And they can't even sell it for $350. It's got a nice backyard that backs to the lake. No fence. Watch out for the alligators. And this house is beautiful. Needs new carpet and paint, but yeah, so this needs a lot of work. You see what I'm looking at here? This is new construction for $360. Here's a newer house. Maybe. It's ready to build. So they're doing new construction for cheaper than what I thought mine was worth, right? So now I'm looking at this thinking, oh, wow. All right. Things have changed in this area. I could even zoom out some more. I got 47 comps. Here's a house that's 5 bedrooms. That's 800 or 900 square feet bigger. That's currently for sale for $350. Decent inside, nice. All right, so I'm not going to sell mine for $381. I'm going to need to sell mine. I want to sell mine for $325. I kind of don't care what the sold comps are. I'm going to be conservative in this. Does that make sense? Now, Alan offered $265 for cash. I think that's a good offer. He offered $265. The seller said no. They bought it for a year and a half ago for $450. Yeah. So do you see why it's important? I wanted you guys to see this. It's important to look at sold comps, but then you need to spend just as much time looking at the active comps because you need to know what is your competition. When you fix this thing up and you resell it, are you going to try to list yours for $380 when there's nicer, newer, bigger homes that are for sale for $350, $360, $365? This is a really good comp right here. I mean, like, I need to be cheaper than this one. It's been on Redfin for 110 days. It's bigger. It's newer. The market has shifted. And don't whine and moan and complain and be discouraged. Which, by the way, let me show you guys, listen to this. And so again, sorry for my lighting. It's so bad. There are a lot of rehabbers and investors right now that are hurting big time. I've been in several masterminds in the last few weeks, in the last few months rather, and there are a lot of guys right now and gals that are hemorrhaging cash. they're in a world of hurt, and you've not even heard about it yet. There are a lot of people that have hundreds of thousands, some of them millions of dollars out of their own money in rehabs that are not selling right now. They bought a bunch of rental properties with the goal or the hope to refinance them out of expensive financing into cheaper financing so that they can cash flow. A bunch of people that bought a bunch of rental properties in the hopes of packaging them together, selling them turnkey to other investors. Well, guess what's happened? Interest rates have gone up. They can't refinance them. The banks have said no, or if they do, the rates are too high and they can't cash flow anymore. The rehab that they spent probably too much money. They probably didn't buy it right. They can't sell it now. They've been on the market for 100 days. They are paying interest on these construction loans, on these hard money loans. They're paying ridiculous amounts of money. They have lots of capital tied up in these deals, and these things aren't selling. They're selling them at losses. They are can't refinance. I mean, guys, you'd be blown away if you follow all the people on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube who are doing a lot of deals. There's a day of reckoning coming, and it may be already here. And I'm a little nervous for some friends that I know that you know that are really struggling right now. You may not see it yet, but you will soon. It's going to keep on getting worse. This is why it's so important to understand wholesaling. This is not the time to get a bunch of buy and holds and rehabs. You need to be in and out of your deals. You need to learn how to make a quick nickel rather than a slow dime. This is a market, at least for the next couple of years. You need to be wholesaling everything you're getting. Well, what about buy and hold? All that wholesaling is just another job. Well, guess what? It is. It is work. Get used to it. Get your big boy pants on. It's work. But guess what? It's the best paying job that you'll ever have. Wholesaling land and houses, best paying job in the world. It is a job. So what? Would you rather flip burgers at Five Guys, or would you rather flip houses? So this is the time to learn wholesaling. Okay. There are still people buying these houses. There's still landlords, rehabbers buying houses, but they're being much more conservative. There's still a lot of money out there. There's a lot of investors that are bleeding and hemorrhaging cash right now that do not want to buy anything, but there are still people that will buy stuff. These are people that have had money sitting on the side for a long time. I know one guy who is begging for inventory still, although he's getting more people bringing him inventory than he's had in a long, long time. But like, he's still selling deals to investors who have cash. Okay. There are investors out there, landlords who are buying properties with cash as long as the cash flow is there, but they're not buying the $500,000 houses. See, the problem was a lot of people in the last few years have been rehabbing bigger and bigger and bigger houses. So they've been going out and they've been buying that $500,000 house in Florida, rehabbing it, hoping to sell it, make a quick $50,000, $100,000 profit. But here's the thing. Everybody that bought those things in the last year are hurting right now. They owe too much. The rehab was cost too much. It's taken way too long to sell. They keep on dropping their prices. They have hard money, private money out on that property, bridge loans that they're paying exorbitant, ridiculous interest rates on, and they're desperate. They're selling these things at losses, and they're hemorrhaging cash right now. There's also a bunch of landlords that bought big apartment complexes and multifamilies with the hopes of refinancing. Guess what? Fixing that big apartment building costs a lot more than they thought it would. Refilling the vacancies, it's taken a lot longer than they thought it would. The private money, the commercial money that they have, interest rates have been going up. And so the goal was to get this place fixed up, get it finished, rent it out, refinance it, and then sell it or something like that, right? I'm not a big apartment guy, but that has been dried up. A lot of the big commercial guys are really in trouble right now. They have one or two really good properties. They have 5 or 6 bad properties. They're freaking out. They're having troubles right now making the distribution payments to their investor partners. So some of you guys maybe know some of the masterminds I'm in. I'm not talking about any one of them. I'm talking about all of them. There's guys right now that are hurting. What do you do? If you're an investor listening to this, a lot of you guys are newbies and beginning investors. That's fine, right? Need to focus on wholesaling. The guys from the last housing crash that we had in 2008, I'm not saying it's going to be like that. It's going to be as bad as that. The ones that survived, made the most money through the last housing crash were wholesalers. Now, there's some wholesalers that are, frustrated right now because the hedge funds aren't buying their houses like they used to. But the wholesalers that are doing well right now, they're not buying the deal. They're flipping the contract. Let me say one more thing, because this is so important. I don't have enough time to talk about it. We're going to have to wrap this up in about 15 minutes. Debt. I've never met somebody who went into foreclosure, bankruptcy, was in trouble with the IRS, lost houses to foreclosure. I already said that. Couldn't pay a private lender back, was worried about mortgage payments. I never met one of those guys who was debt-free, who owned these properties free and clear. You've got to be careful with debt. Debt is not a problem until it is. Debt is not a problem until interest rates start going up, buying starts going down. And then all of a sudden that property you thought was worth $450 is now worth $350. Like, we just looked at this house. They bought it for $450 a year and a half ago. Now it's worth maybe $350. In a year's time, it's gone down $100,000. You understand? So be careful with debt. Be careful with debt. That's why I love wholesaling. Here's the deal. Everybody wants to make 10 grand a month, right? And the goal is, you'd think, to get passive income. So I'm going to buy a bunch of rental properties. I'm going to buy 130 rental doors so that I can get $10,000 a month in net cash flow after all of my expenses and management. I'm going to be making 10 grand a month in my pocket. It's going to be amazing. Okay, that's a lot of properties you got to buy. That's a lot of debt you got to take on. When you could make that same amount of money wholesaling 1 or 2 deals a month without taking on any debt, without working hard. And you don't have to wait 3, 4, 5 years for that to happen. It could happen today. You could start wholesaling 1 or 2 deals a month, even in a down market, and make just as much money. Yes, it's a job. Yes, if you stop wholesaling, you stop making money. But guess what? I think most of us here we don't mind the work. I'd rather flip houses than flip burgers. So yes, it's a job, but so what? You can still wholesale 1 or 2 deals a month, just working 10, 20 hours a week. All right. So back to this property. I think I made my point clear. I hope I did. Let me share the screen again here. So our property, which is right here, they bought it for $350. Redfin estimate is $445. It's a nice house, but I'm just looking at actives in the area. Again, let's just make sure I'm not full of smoke here. Let's look at just houses. Properties that are for sale right now. Here's a property for sale. Now, these are smaller homes, yes, but this is what your competition. Why would somebody want to pay? Redfin says this property is worth $450, $445, right? Why would they want to pay $445 when they can buy this thing? Yes, it's smaller. Yes, it's older. When they can pay $200,000 less. All right, let's make this bedrooms at least 3 bedrooms. Let's sort this by price. Yes, these are 3 bedrooms. Yes, there's 1 bath. All right, fine. Let's do 1.5 baths plus. Why is your house really worth $200,000 more than this little house that's smaller with a 1-car garage? So even though this isn't a strict comp because it's smaller, this is what your people are looking at. Let's make the square feet at least 2,000 square feet. $335. That's new construction, guys. This is crazy. New construction is $340, $350, $360. And our house was built in 1968. So that's 32, it's 55 years old or something. And these guys are still building new construction. You could probably negotiate these deals. Let's go in here and remove. You can say year built. It was built before 2020. That removes all the new construction. Let's zoom out. All right. So I think the house, if I'm going to sell it today, I'm going to sell it. I want mine, when I'm looking here, to be the cheapest one on here. This is 343. So I'm going to sell mine for 325. I'm going to sell mine for 325. Now, I have a spreadsheet here. I'm going to share with you guys. You know what? No. Let's do, I have this thing called Cognito. If you're in the inner circle, I'll stop my screen share. Let me open this up. I have a calculator here, software that my students have access to. Publish. I'm going to show this to you guys. So if you guys are students, you have access to this thing. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. It's called Automated Offer Pro. And this is something that I use that gives me the cash offer, lease option offer, and owner financing offers. Okay, let's go through this. So this is where you're going to put your information. What this does is it gives you different offers to make, and then it gives you different proposals that you can print and send to the seller. Let's go to property information here. The seller's name, I don't know. Susie Smith. Property address we had was 515 South Lake, Florence. Let's do Winter Haven, Florida. Zip, cut, paste. Cool. And let's say the seller's mailing address. Now this house, I don't know if it's vacant or not, but let's just put the, God, why does it do this? All right, that's my UPS mailing address right there. Save. What is that about? Oh, I forgot you click next. Now, this is where we determine the after repair value. And there's different things that you can do. What I just showed you was actually looking at what I think I could resell it for. Now, if you go into Redfin, they're going to give you an estimate of 445. Zillow is going to give you an estimate of 441, which I think is just way off. Realtor.com will give you an estimate of 409. Well, that's their open door offer. So you can put in all those numbers and come up with an average of the estimated values. But we're going to use what I figured I'm going to sell it for is 325. All right. Now, there's two different ways I like to make cash offers. Number one is the typical Mayo formula. You take the ARV times 70%. That will give you 15% profit margin. That gives you about 9%. If you're going to rehab it, that gives you about 9% for selling costs, closing costs, and all of that. And it gives you about 6% for carrying financing costs while you're carrying the property, while you're rehabbing it. You understand? That's where that 30% number comes from. 15% profit, 6% carrying costs, 9% selling and closing costs. Minus repairs, minus your fee. So if we're saying it's worth about 325, I'm going to do 70%. Now in a hotter market, you might be at 80%. Let's do 70%. Square footage was 2871. Now price per square foot. Now these numbers could be adjusted. When I built this calculator a few years ago, these were better numbers. The numbers have gone up since then, But this one doesn't need any repairs. Let's just say it just needs simple cosmetics though. Let's do $5 a square foot. It's like 14 grand. Let's do 10. $10 a square foot, $28,000 in repairs. That will get you maybe new carpet, paint in some of the rooms. Make sense? I want to make a $10,000 wholesale fee. All right. So my cash offer is 188. Holy smokies. Right? That's crazy. Do you think the seller is ever going to accept that? No way. They paid $450 for it. Now, I feel bad. Here's the thing. If you don't feel embarrassed or you feel this knot in your stomach before you make the cash offer to the seller, you're offering too much. The seller's going to be ticked when you give them this offer, aren't they? Yes. You got to get some thick skin. Now, again, you could say, well, okay, it doesn't need any repairs. I can sell it as is. All right, then offer $217,500. All right. So the other method is making cash offers that I like to use is taking the average of the lowest solds times a certain percentage. So if we go in here back to Redfin, like I used to like to use, let's go to solds. Let's go to the last 6 months. And I'm looking at 3+ bedrooms. We could do 4 if we wanted. 4+ bedrooms. All right. Click done. 4+ bedrooms. Let's do that square footage. I did that. Not new construction. Okay. This is solds. You could do the average of the lowest solds times a certain percentage. So we have 200, 220, 225. So you can put the address in here if you want. But we had 200,000, 225, 220, 225, and 270. You can add more. All right. And then I normally do 80% of the discount off the average. So my method 2 cash offer is 183. This works better when you're doing like cheaper rental neighborhoods. But if you're just looking to make a quick and dirty cash offer, take an average of the lowest solds times 80%. So now I have 2 different cash offers. Let me go back. There is going to be repairs on this thing. You're going to have to put in carpet, paint, make it look nice, stage it. If you said, man, 28 grand is way too much. Okay, so then change it here. Let's do 20 grand. Okay, we got 5 minutes. I got to wrap this up. So now we have 2 different cash offers. Method 1, the ARV times 70% minus repairs minus your wholesale fee is 197. And then method 2 is the lowest average of the lowest solds times a certain percentage, 183. So now you just pick which one you want to use. Let's just pick something in the middle. Let's do 190. Okay. Earnest money deposit that I'm going to put in my contract or my offer. And I want a deadline. I'm going to make my offer good until the 14th. My cash offer good until the 14th. Cool. Now we're going to click next. Now this is the lease option offer stuff. Okay. So the ARV I'm saying is about 325. Needs about 20 grand in repairs. So the as-is value is 305. This is what I use. I want to know the as-is value when I'm making my lease option offers. And the first lease option offer is sandwich lease options. And then I also make a wholesaling lease option offer. So the sandwich lease option is where I stay in the middle. Now, when I stay in the middle, I want at least 15% equity in the deal of the as-is value, right? So I'm going to give the seller an option price for $259. Market rent on this property, if we just go into Zillow, somewhere in here, we should see the estimated rent range. And I would spend a little bit of time looking into this, but they're saying you could rent it for $2,400 a month. All right, let's just use that number. I don't know if that's good or not, but I would spend normally more time. Now, cash flow, I want at least 25% of the rent for cash flow. So I want at least $600 a month in cash flow in this deal. So I'm going to offer $1,800 a month to the seller. Now I'm going to pay on a sandwich lease option. I'm going to pay a little bit of option deposit to the seller. I normally will do 1 to 2 months. So let's just do $2,000 option deposit to the seller. And I want to try to get at least 5 years. Okay. Now, a wholesaling lease option offer, it's either the price the seller wants or the as-is value. The as-is value is $305. Market rent's $2,400. And I usually do, $100 deposit, option deposit, and I usually do 2 years. But, with the slowing down of the market, I might do 3 years. You understand? Now, I'll show you kind of what that looks like here in just a minute. We got to chop. Owner financing. So what's the price that the seller wants, or what's the as-is value? We say the as-is value is maybe 305. So let's just put that in here. Now, when I'm making owner financing, the way I do it, there's different ways to do it. They're all good, but like I do principal only payments and interest only payments. If the better the terms, the higher the price that I'll give to the seller, right? So I'll give the seller their price with better terms. So I'll give them I might even give them 310. Give them a little bit more. 310. My offer price will be 310. I'm not going to do anything down, 0 down payment. And when I typically will give them principal only payments of half of the rent. So I'll give them principal only payments of $1,200 a month until paid. So that means in 21 years, I'll have this thing paid off. And if you want to give them more, you can. $1,500 a month. So I get it paid off in 17 years. Cash flow is still going to be really good on that. Okay. So I'm buying it with owner fund. You know what? No, let's do 50. We'll keep to my rule. So I'm going to do principal only payments of $1,200 a month. Now, interest only payments, the price the seller wants that I chose before is 310. So I'm going to be giving them better terms, which means the price needs to go down. So I want a little discount. I'm going to maybe offer a 10% discount, and I'll put down maybe 10% down, and I'll pay them 3% interest only payments. Let's do 4. So I'm going to lower the price a little bit. I'll give them a down payment, and I'll pay interest only payments of $837 a month. And usually I'll do a balloon, just something to start with. So in 10 years, I will refinance or take, or walk away. So boom, now I've got 4 or 5 different offers. Click submit. I'll show you what we get here. We've got a 3-option letter of intent. You can see right here. The first one is cash, sandwich lease option, owner financing. The second one is cash, sandwich lease option, wholesaling lease option. The third is cash, owner financing, interest only, owner financing, principal only. The third one is a 1-page, 3 options, cash, sandwich lease option, owner financing. So let's look at that one real quick because we're running out of time. 1 page. Here we go. So I'm going to share this in a new screen. And I will share my screen here as soon as it pops up. While this is open, because Word takes forever for some reason on my Mac computer. Don't forget, today at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central in 2 hours. Is that right? Yeah. I'm doing a summit. I'm doing a class on flipping vacant land. Thelandsummit.com. Thelandsummit.com. Go check that out, because it's going to be awesome. Let me put it in here so you guys can see it. Dang it. Microsoft Word. Thelandsummit.com. Let me make this bigger here so you can see it. Okay, let me share my new screen. I wanted to show that to you. Thelandsummit.com. All right. Now, even if you're watching this later, we might still have this available where you can view it for a limited time. Here is my 1-page. So this calculator that I have gives you 4 different documents. Well, they give you 6. One of them is a cover page, which explains the options and then gives them an attachment that covers what a lease option is, what owner financing is, answers frequently asked questions, and gives a list of the summary of the benefits for doing owner financing or lease option. This is just a 1-page thing that I send to sellers, okay? So it fills everything out for you. It's Susie Smith. It was great talking to you today about your house at address and city. Here's some different options we may be able to offer. I want you to notice something here. The price goes up each time. You see, cash offer 190, lease purchase offer 259, seller financing 310. So cash offer 190, close in 30 days, simple. Lease purchase, you know what, while we're doing that, I'm going to download the others just to show you real quick. Then I'll share my screen and show you what those look like here. Cash offer only. And a blind owner financing offer. So these are really cool. I also send blind owner financing offers, which is crazy. All right, let me open these up. Boom. Okay, so what you guys see, you guys should see this. All right, you see what do you guys see? Hold on a second here. I want to make sure you guys see the right thing. Okay, good. You see it. See the cash price, 190. Lease purchase price. This is a sandwich lease option where I'm going to stay in the middle. I'll give them the option price of $259. I'll put $2,000 option consideration. I'll pay them $1,800 a month in rent. 5 years, they don't have to worry about anything. I'll take care of all the maintenance and repairs on that property. I'm going to sell it for maybe $310 to a tenant buyer. Seller financing, I'm going to give them more with 0 down, principal only payments of $1,200 a month. I'll pay it off in 258 months or 21 years. All right, now I've got some other things that I also can send to them. Let me share with you this one. This is a cover letter, and this is now multiple letter of intent, multiple options. This is all cash, lease purchase option. It kind of explains what it is, and owner financing, similar to what we did before. But then I have a page that explains what a lease option is, summary of the benefits, and then 3 pages of frequently asked questions. All right. Then I've got this other thing I like to send them. This is called the lease option letter of intent number 2, where this is all cash, 190, lease purchase option, sandwich lease option, 259, where I'm going to stay in the middle, or the lease option assignment, or what's called a wholesaling lease option deal, 305. By the way, wholesaling lease options, is this a good time to start doing wholesaling lease options? Yes, it is coming back. This is a great time to offer a lease option to the seller, not to stay in the middle. Give them whatever price they want. Give them whatever rent they want. You're going to get it under a lease option contract, and you're going to sell or assign that lease option to a tenant buyer, and you're going to be done and out of the deal. You make the assignment fee, $5 or $10 grand. Cool. That's a lease option assignment. Then the other thing real quick I want to share with you that you can give. I love giving sellers options. You understand? This one is all cash and 2 different seller financing options. All cash of 190, principal only payments of 279, or interest only payments of 310. You see how the price goes up? Doesn't matter to me which one the seller wants. You can negotiate. They can say, oh man, I like that price, but I want more money down. No, sorry. 279 was interest only payments. 310, principal only payments. So with interest only, I'm going to offer a little less, but I'm giving them a down payment. I'm going to pay them 4% interest only payments, and I give them a balloon. Okay. Then I want to share one more thing with you that's really awesome. I think, in my humble opinion, I'm just telling you, this is a blind owner financing. Oh, wow, I got 2 more things to show you. Hold on. This is a good friend, Chris Chico, let me use this with his permission. It's a cover letter that says this sheet of paper is worth $190 for the next 30 days. The cool thing about this is you can, this is a Word document, right? So you can get in there and edit things. And it says, hey, it's great talking to you. I can pay you cash. This offer is good for 30 days. Here's my phone number. Here's my contact info. And it's a 1-page contract. 1-page contract. I'll buy it for $190. Again, you can like delete the zeros, the decimals if you want. All right. And really good. lets you assign it, gives you 60 days to close, and then it gives you 2 pages of the summary. Here are the benefits you'll experience when you sell your property to us. Boom. And then there's 2 ways, really, Mr. Seller, to sell your property. You can determine the price, prepare your home, advertise, wait for an offer, advertise, wait for an offer, hold an open house, wait for an offer, show property to buyers, wait for an offer. Now, you couldn't maybe use this a year ago, but you certainly can now. Wait for an offer, negotiate a sales price, make repairs, prepare the contracts, coordinate and follow up with the title company, or sell your home to us, and get a check at closing. Right? So this is a 4-page thing that you could send to the sellers. Cool. Then one of my favorite things that's working really, really well right now is the blind owner financing offer. This is basically sending a blind offer to the seller at their asking price. So here it says, companies here in city, and we're an investment firm that specializes in buying homes like yours in the area. With that in mind, if you'd consider seller financing, I would like to make you a full price offer on your property. We can buy it as is and close on any date you choose. Hey, I realize this may be a little bit out of the blue, so please forgive me if this letter seems too forward. I assure you this is a real offer, and my company is prepared to pay full price for your property in 30 days or less. The reason why we can offer you market value for your property is because of our long-term buy and hold approach. Are we getting bank loans for this? No. Are we getting private money for this? No. So if you're interested in selling to us now, you can avoid the typical costs that eat away at your equity, like agent commissions, et cetera, et cetera. I'm so confident we can offer you more than anyone else. I've included a letter of intent for your review. This is a letter of intent. We're going to offer them full market price. What? You can't do that, Joe? Yes, you can. Down payment, 0. Monthly payments, $1,200 a month until paid, approximately 250 months. 258. We'll pay all taxes and insurance. Now, could you do the same thing for subject to? Yeah, just change the language. We'll just take over. Just change the language. We can pay you full price. We'll just take over your debt. We'll take over your mortgage payments and give them a letter of intent. It's not a contract, but now how do I, oh man, I love this. This is so cool. That's a blind owner financing offer. Now, who would you send that to and where? All right, let me share my other screen with you again here. Okay, let's go back to Redfin. This area is what? Winter Haven, Florida. Let's just look in this zip code. These are all the homes in this zip code. Just that zip code, right? There's 240 homes for sale. No filters in here. Let's do one filter. Let's do houses only. All right. And I don't want new construction. So let's do, had it been built before 21. 124 homes. Okay. 124 homes in that one zip code. Let's go right here. Let's go down to time on Redfin. More than 90 days. 42 homes. A year ago, that would have been 5. 42 homes right here on the market over 90 days. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to download all of them. I'm going to go into propstreamjoe.com. propstreamjoe.com. Hang on, I know I'm running late here. Okay, I got a few minutes. If you don't have PropStream Joe, you really should get it. I'm going to open up this spreadsheet I just downloaded from Redfin. So Redfin let me download all of those 40-something properties. How many were there? 42 homes that have been on the market over 90 days, right? So I'm going to go into PropStream. I'm going to go to My Properties. And I'm going to click on Import List. Now there's a template. You have to put them in a template. So I'm going to download the CSV. All right, let me share Excel here. All right, so here are all those properties I just downloaded from Redfin. There are 43 of them. Okay. And then I have another spreadsheet here. That's a blank template. Okay. So I'm going to take the addresses of this property, copy them from that other spreadsheet, and then paste them right here. Now, brought in the unit there's a unit thing. So I'm going to just cut and bring it over one column. Okay. So again, these are I know it's kind of hard to see. Zoom in a little bit here, but I copied and pasted the addresses, cities, state, and zip into the spreadsheet that PropStream likes. It's called a template. Okay. Let's go back to PropStream here. So I downloaded the template. Now I'm going to choose that file I just did. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I created a new CSV template and I'm going to create it to a new one. Let's call it 11 Jan 2023. Okay. So I'm uploading that list of 40 something addresses of properties from Redfin that were over 90 days listed into PropStream. Why am I doing that? Oh, this is so cool. Wait till you see this. Let me go find that list I just created. There it is. All right. There are now in this list, there's 41. What? Look at this. Of those 41 deals, 27 of them have a high equity, 13 have low equity, and 15 are free and clear. Your what hurts? They're free and clear? Okay, check this out. So I could send a lease option offer to, now this, let me explain this here. These are properties that are all listed on the MLS right now, right? So if you are a realtor, you can't do this. You can't go behind the realtor's back and send any kind of solicitation directly to the owner. But what if you're not a realtor? Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying you should ever try to get the seller to get out of their listing agreement with the realtor. That is wrong. It's unethical. It's immoral, and it's illegal, and it's fattening. Don't do that. Never try to get a seller to cancel their listing agreement with the agent. But I'm just saying, instead of contacting the agent, if you're not a realtor, send your offer for creative financing directly to the seller. And then tell the seller, if you want to do owner financing or lease option, give this to your agent. But I don't care. I don't want to talk to the realtor about lease option owner financing. I only want to talk to the seller about that. Okay. So high equity, maybe I can make them a subject to offer. Low equity, subject to maybe, depends on the payment amount, or lease option offer, but free and clear. Ooh, what if we clicked here? There's 15 properties of that 41 in that one zip code that are free and clear. And guess what this list gives me? It gives me the owner's name. Now, some of them are open door, so I'll exclude those. It gives me the owner's name. Scroll over. And it gives me the owner's mailing address. Now, some of it may be the same, but some of them are going to be different. Like this one right here. This property right here. It's on the market, even though Zillow or PropStream says it's off market. It's on the market right now. And then you see the owner, Jennifer Bracora. Okay. And you can see mortgage transaction history. They paid cash, $19.99. This is a free and clear property. They tell me what they predict the value to be, $520. I don't know what this house is listed for. No debt. Guess what? What if I sent that blind owner financing offer? Where'd it go? Right here. To that owner. What if I have 15 properties now, take out the 4 that are from open doors. So I've got 10 or 11 properties that are free and clear, owned by individuals. I sent them a letter and saying, hey, Rebecca, whatever her last name is, my name is Joe. I'm writing to you because I'd like to purchase your property at address. Hopefully I've done my research properly and have sent this to the correct person. You could also add on here, if you're worried, if you're, about ticking off a bunch of realtors, you could say, hopefully I've done my research and I've sent this to the right person. If your property is listed with an agent, feel free to go ahead and give this to them. You could say, if your property is listed with a realtor, feel free to disregard this or give it to your realtor. My company is here in, whatever city. We're an investment firm. We specialize in buying properties like yours in the Winter Haven area. With that in mind, if you would consider seller financing, I might be able to get you list price for your property. Full price. Whatever. We can buy it as is and close on any date you choose. I realize this may seem a little out of the blue, so please forgive me. This letter seems too forward. I assure you, this is a real offer, and my company is prepared to pay you list price. You could change this for list price, whatever, for your property in 30 days or less. What? They're thinking, why would you do that? Because of our long-term buy and hold approach. We're going to buy it with owner financing. We're just going to rent it out. We're going to rent it out or sell it with owner financing, create a wraparound mortgage, or we're going to do a lease option. We don't know yet. Okay. We may just get it under contract and then wholesale that contract, that creative financing contract, to someone else. So if you're interested in selling to us, you can avoid. Now, if you're sending this to listed properties, as says here, you can avoid the typical costs either way with your equity, like agent commission. So maybe delete that. Or you don't have to worry about closing costs or improvements to please a picky buyer or lowering your price to meet an appraisal, which is becoming a big deal now. This is the other thing I didn't talk about. These investors that are rehabbing houses and trying to sell them now, the appraisers are coming in and are kicking their butts. They're already selling it at a loss because they've dropped their price 50 to 100 grand. And the appraiser comes in and says, yeah, it's not worth that anymore. It's worth 25 grand less. Oh, it's so frustrating. All right. But anyway, I'm so confident we can offer you more than anyone else. I've included a letter of intent. Please call me. Let me know. This is where, here's what I did. So this is not a solicitation to list your house. We are wanting to buy it. If your house is already listed with a realtor, please give this letter to them. You could say, please disregard or give this letter to them. You're going to make some realtors mad. It is what it is. If you're not an agent, well, that's all I'm going to say about that. You understand what I'm stepping on? I mean, do you smell what I'm stepping in? Okay, sorry. I know I just offended all you realtors out there, and I'm sorry. And so now you can say, we're going to give you this offer for this property. We'll pay you $310. Let's just say that was their list price. We'll put an earnest money deposit with a title company. So we always close our owner financing subject to except lease options. We always close our deals, except lease options, with title companies. So we're going to give the seller a promissory note secured by deed of trust. We're going to put that seller in first position. This is real important. I can't get into this right now because I'm already late for this call, but you always want to make sure the sellers are in first position. There's guys out there that teach seller financing, and you get private money and you put that private investor in first position and you subordinate the seller in second position or something like that. Don't ever do that. That's so stupid. I think that's asking for trouble. Seller stays in first position. Cool. All right. I'm not offering anything down. No, you can negotiate. I'm not offering anything down. I'm paying them $1,200 a month. You could do more if you wanted, but principal only payments. If they wanted interest, if they wanted more per month, and they wanted a down payment, all right, you can talk about it, right? You can say, all right, I'll pay you $5,000 down, but instead of $310,000, we'll do $300,000. Okay, so if you're going to put $5,000 down, then lower the price by double that. Makes sense. Okay, cool. This is just a letter of intent. It's really not a contract because you're also not signing it. Letter of intent. This thing works like, I have another letter. Oh, I should add this into my calculator. That just basically says if you're willing to lease your property to us for a couple years, we can pay you full list price for it if you want. All right, so we got to go, guys. This has been fun. I was hoping I could look at 2 or 3 deals, and we only looked at one. I like to talk a lot. So this has been fun. Again, if you want to watch my live webinar today in a couple hours, go to thelandsummit.com, and check it out. And I apologize for my washed out lighting. It's really bad, but I just wanted to open the door because the weather is so nice. I normally have closed the door. I have blinds and I have a fancy thing behind me that shows the screen. And I appreciate you guys. All right. Thelandsummit.com. Even if you're watching this later, go there right now. And I appreciate you all. Comment down below this video, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, and let me know what you think. Am I full of smoke? Full of, you know what? Did what I just do pretty stupid? Do I have zero idea? Do I not know what I'm talking about? I want to hear your feedback. What would you have offered for this house? What would you have offered? Cash offer, owner financing, subject to lease option. I'm telling you, creative financing is coming back in a big, big way. And it's not that you have to even stay inside in the middle of those creative financing deals. You can wholesale them. You can wholesale a creative financing deal just like you can wholesale a cash deal. So, all right, guys, appreciate you all.